my expectations were just off the chart. I thought this is it, it's gonna be lit, big money, wild nights, oh I'm ready for it. But what eluded me was what I couldn't foresee was that the hype was a trap and it wasn't for me. Now, 2023 was a huge year for us Phoenix residents. The Super Bowl was coming to town, and not just any Super Bowl, but the one that fell on the same week as the Phoenix Open. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with the Phoenix Open, it's a golf event that happens every year in town, also known as Waste Management, and it pulls in over 1 million tourists. So, as you can imagine, Super Bowl weekend's already a huge deal for us locals, but this particular year, my expectations were just off the charts. Want to know why? So on top of that, I hear that a little something called the Stripper Bowl is going down. And I was hyped about this event because you probably heard that Migos song where they talk about spending $500,000 at the Stripper Bowl, like $500,000. So it sounded like the perfect recipe for a good time, given that it's Super Bowl weekend. And then on top of that, Fabulous was headlining. So I was expecting them to get some high rollers in the house that night. But let me tell you, things quickly took a turn. So I soon found out that the organizers hadn't exactly sold many tables yet, but they were still pumping out massive hype with influencers or promoting that Fabulous would be headlining. They got me with that. I figured, okay, this is gonna be one of those legendary nights. So I asked if I could participate. The promoter said yes. Here's one cap though, we're capping it at 100 girls. So I was like, okay, what's the buy-in? Now the buy-in's a bit steep, right? It was $400 for one day, $750 for 2 days. I decided to sign up for one day. Now I made them a little promo flyer that I did not get paid for. I didn't get a discount for doing that or nothing, right? And just to help promote them, to help bring more people into the event. So the event happens and it was not very busy. There was a lot of girls there, a lot of girls from out of town. Some girls, it was like their first night ever stripping and they were there. And they came all the way from out of town just for this. And weren't that many tables sold. And at first I thought, okay, they probably took all our money and they're gonna throw it back at us, throw it in the bowl. I was like, there's no way I'm leaving with less money than I pitched in. I was like, I figure at least I'm gonna make that and maybe some. But as the night kept going on, I realized there's really not a whole lot of money being thrown around here. So fast forward, it's the end of the night, we're backstage, the crew's blow drying their dollars, straightening dollars, counting stacks of singles just out of garbage bags. We're all waiting to take our money home, but when the night wraps up and I count my haul, I am stunned. I walked out with exactly $333. Angel number, my theory is that the organizers intentionally left us with the angel number, so we feel like we got lucky even though we're all taking a loss. And I would have for sure been better off spending that Friday night at the club or at a private party, really anything other than this Stripper Bowl event. Now, the part that really got under my skin though was that the organizer, he actually tried to blame us, the girls, for the low turnout. He said, you guys didn't do enough promo. He was like, our last Stripper Bowl, they threw so much money, like it's your fault that the turnout isn't good. You guys aren't twerking hard enough. And some girls just, instead of realizing that this guy's trying to turn us on each other, they actually started turning on some of the other girls. And shit got petty, it got a little colorist. They started saying, oh, it's the light-skinned girls, you guys aren't the ones doing enough promo. As if you're over here watching every girl's story. People were looking at me, it's no, actually, I probably did more promo than your ass did. Moral of the story, okay, the lesson learned here, how to avoid getting burned if you find yourself in this situation. So based on my experience, I'm telling you, if you're thinking about joining one of these bowls, do your homework first. Ask the organizers the tough questions. How many tables have actually sold? What's the quality of those buyers? Are they serious or are they just there for the show? How many girls are signed up and what's the cap? And most importantly, ask them where your buy-in money is going. Because if it's just lining someone else's pockets, you're gonna feel pretty stupid walking out with a few $100 when you were promised something much bigger. So this was well over a year ago, but I'm still curious if anybody has an insider scoop on what actually went down behind the scenes when they were counting, because I really just have a hard time believing that it came out to even $333 per girl. So if anybody actually knows the truth, please comment below. We all deserve to know. Listen to the story I'm about to tell. About a year in Phoenix that rang like a bell. 2023, what a time to be here. Super Bowl, Phoenix Open, it was all so near. Now the crowd's a big deal, draws a crowd by the million, but this year, baby, I had a different feeling. Super Bowl weekend, it was all set to shine, but there was this thing, the Stripper Bowl, that crossed my mind. I heard the rumors and I was all in. A night of madness where the high life begins. Migo dropped the track, talking $500,000 at the Stripper Bowl. Yeah, they said it was real. I thought it's gonna be lit, big money. money, wild nights. Oh, I'm ready for it. But what eluded me was what I couldn't foresee, was that the hype was a trap and it wasn't for me. Arizona, join me Friday night. I'm gonna be at Marquee Theater, Stripper Bowl. It's Super Bowl weekend. Let's fucking get it. Woo!